Well, let's just talk about this Maguire story. It's coming in from a number of UK outlets this morning, and on a Sunday morning, you do get different sort of stories than what you normally get in the week because, in the UK, the Sunday papers are their own entity, so they work on their stories all week, etc. That's just the way it's always been. Boyce, welcome to Members Club. So there's a lot of stories going around this morning that Harry Maguire will be stripped of the captaincy of Manchester United. There'll be a vote by the dressing room, and it's expected that Bruno Fernandes will win that vote. So, look, I'm just going to say it. I'm not saying Harry Maguire's the new Phil Jones, the person that seems to survive every summer, but if we're going to go and try and praise ourselves as a football club for saying, we've got a goalkeeper that won the Golden Glove. He only conceded 9 goals in 18 games at Old Trafford last year. I mean, that's what our goalkeeper did. He won the Golden Glove and he only conceded 9 goals in 18 home games. We're bloody ruthless. We've just got rid of a goalkeeper like that because we want to play more expansive. Look at us, admire us. We're so ruthless. We're so brilliant. And I'm not being sarcastic there. That's the message. Look, we've got a goalkeeper that, look at all the clean sheets. Golden Glove. And we're getting rid of him because we want a goalkeeper that can be expansive as well. Look how ruthless we are. Look how ambitious we are. We're absolute. Look at us. Look, Pep did this at Man City. Ten Hag's doing it at United. Flex your muscles. This is it. This is what it's all about. We're ruthless. You can't do that and then go, oh yeah, Harry, don't matter. I know you're absolutely nowhere near my first team. I know you're on 200 grand a week. I know we have to have a question about you in every press conference, even though you're not relevant. And you can keep the captaincy. Don't worry about it. We're not trying to do anything here. Don't worry. Oh, don't forget the goalkeeper stuff. That's just PR. We're not really ruthless. We're just having a laugh. It's just all a laugh. We've got nothing to prove, Harry. You're perfect. I can't see a world where you do that. I can't see a world where you do that. And so I think the rumours are probably true. I think Erik ten Hag has to do that, remove the captaincy from him. That Maguire's not back in training yet. I don't think McTominay's back. I don't know about Martial. Martial wasn't even part of the French squad. Anyone know what Martial's up to? Have we got any pictures of Martial? I don't know. Bruno's not back yet. Rashford's not back. I think they're all back tomorrow. So there will be meetings this week with various players, with Ten Hag, etc., about the season ahead. And some of those meetings will be prompted by the players themselves. But, you know what? If Erik ten Hag says we're keeping Harry Maguire as club captain, I mean, just what do you think you're doing? This is not a person. This is not Gary Neville. This is not a player that's won titles and been good in the past, but you keep them as the club captain as a mark of respect. This is somebody who's done nothing. They've done nothing as a captain. They shouldn't be the captain, and they don't need to be club captain. So he should be removed as captain. It's as simple as that. It's not even ruthless. It's common sense. Last season we had a really good season, and Bruno Fernandes was captain for the whole season. Really, it's the most logical thing in the world. And if we're going to remove De Gea and be ruthless to bring Onana in, don't keep Maguire as captain. It's just so obvious to do. I mean, forget the captaincy. He should be sold. We shouldn't even be talking about the captaincy. He should be sold. But if he's staying, he shouldn't be captain. Absolutely not. I watched a lot of games watched all the games last season. There's only one captain on that pitch. It's Bruno Fernandes. And the other leaders on that pitch are Varane, Martinez, Casemiro. De Gea was a leader in that dressing room, 100%. You could argue Marcus Rashford, Luke Shaw, even Christian Eriksen. There are leaders on that pitch. When Harry Maguire comes on and takes the captaincy, it's weird. It's weird. It doesn't, it doesn't make sense. So I think that they have to do it. But then I'll be honest, there's always a part of me with United that thinks, you know what, we'll be ruthless and remove the Golden Glove winner, but we'll keep Maguire as captain and allow questions to be about him every press conference next season. I mean, if I was Ten Hag, I'd want him out of the club anyway, because I'd be fed up with the questions in the press conference. But I don't know whether he's going to leave the club. That's something else. But the captaincy change, I mean, if that doesn't happen, we're a joke. It's a joke anyway. Every other club laughs at it anyway. If it doesn't happen, it's ridiculous. If we're serious about being a football club, and we clearly are, the Onana change is you can see it. The Mason Mount deal was a shock, but you can see it. These are big, Mason Mount. We talk about Onana. Mason Mount signing is shocking in the sense that I wouldn't have thought he would be the sort of player we go for, but Ten Hag definitely wants that type of player. So there are ruthless actions in this summer transfer window from Ten Hag, and they need to continue this week. This week's key. You've got players coming back. What are we doing with them? Hi, Mark. I'm happy with Mountain and Arna. Don't hide the fact. Still want the Glazers out, says Chris. Well, I think everyone agrees with that. Maguire has done less than nothing for United, says Charlie. So yeah, look, we'll see. We'll see what happens this week with it. But I think that you've got to continue that ruthlessness, and I really want to see it this week. I don't know who's going to go on the tour. I really don't. But I think that. I said it at the start of the video and I'll say it again. There needs to be far more scrutiny on sales, because everybody gets, blinded by the signings. Oh, look at the signings, look at the signings. But if you want more signings, which we need, we've got to sell, which we haven't done yet. I mean, it's nearly July the 10th and we haven't sold anybody. Unfortunately, yet again, United's recruitment department are blowing smoke up their arse off signings that I could do and you could do. Spending £55 million on Mason Mount is not a shock. It's not a hard deal to do. So, buying an Arna for 50 million quid, it's not a hard deal to do. Like, these are not groundbreaking deals. So start selling people. That's what needs to happen, because that will enable us to buy other players. Remember your reaction last year when Erik Ten Hag said he was keeping Maguire as captain. Harry won't leave as being a United player gets him playing for England, says Gunnar Station. Look, the thing is, and Rory says the captaincy is irrelevant when compared to sales. Yes, you're 100% correct. In relation to whether Maguire wants to leave Manchester United or whether Ten Hag wants him to go, he's on £200,000 a week and no one's going to pay him that. It's a difficult deal for United to do because they're incompetent at selling players. We're talking about the captaincy, which is in Ten Hag's control. He can strip him of the captaincy. I would do it 100% because it makes it very obvious that you're not part of my plans. If you allow him to keep the captaincy, you're giving him encouragement, and there is no manager of any football club that should be encouraging a player to sit on their bench on £200,000 a week. That's just a bad business move. And as for the England argument, look, I don't know whether Maguire's going to ask to go or not. I think he should do, but this is a guy who has publicly said, I've got nothing to prove. It doesn't bode well for him knocking on the door and saying, I want to go and play football because I'm ambitious. He's a guy who says he's got nothing to prove. But if I was him, and he definitely was, because we sort of look at his Instagram post, watching the under-21s last night, Harry Maguire plays for England because we haven't got a good left-footed English centre-back. Harry Maguire is a right-footed centre-back who plays left-footed centre-back, and he's not better than John Stones. In the next season, Colwill should be playing first-team football for Chelsea, or they sell him in the next few weeks and he'll play first-team football anywhere else. Harry Maguire, if I was him, you might think you've got nothing to prove and you might think Southgate's got your back, but I'm telling you now, that Colwill has captured the imagination of the British fans and press, English press. He's going to take your place for the Euros. So if you think you're going to coast it at United as third or fourth choice centre-back, waiting for an injury and winning your place for the Euros, Southgate will be booed out of England if he picks you in the Euros next season and Colwill has half the season we think he's going to have. So look, that's nothing to do with us. I couldn't give a toss about that. England, I don't care about. But if Maguire thinks he's going to stay at United as a reserve centre-back and keep his place in the Euros, he's taking a huge risk. And he should be thinking about that. And his advisors should be telling him that, because Colwell's better than him. It's as simple as that. And he's left-footed. So he has to go and play first-team football. Look, if he wants to play in the Euros, you should be playing first-choice centre-back for West Ham next season, playing well. And then no one can take your place. Are you going to be playing well for Man United? Only if Varane gets injured again, and then even then it should be Lindelof. So the writing's on the wall for these players. Scott McTominay should be doing the same. Where's the ambition in being a bench player for Manchester United? They're good enough to go and play football elsewhere, but I think this is part of the problem. You lose a player like David De Gea, who, whatever you think about him, 100% for 12 years had the right mentality and the right drive, and potentially we're going to keep some players who just like the vibe of being at Manchester United. I love them.